hitting up Tupac and taking him down. But now, because of the karma, because of their mistakes, because everything catches up with them, and they thought they had it in the bag. They thought they really had this thing beat. They didn't think 30 years down the road that they were going to come back and actually pursue them. They found new information. They went and talked to dudes who back then were way too scared to talk. Mike Tyson was a boxer. After Keith D came out with that interview on Art of Dialogue, and he actually called out Mike Tyson. He sent Mike Tyson a message. He sent shots at Mike Tyson saying that you got to stick to boxing. Don't say nothing about nothing. Don't even talk to me or nothing like that. So what exactly does Mike Tyson know that's going to be able to actually put the feds onto a lot more details, man? So this is what everyone know. Everybody came down to Vegas at that Mike Tyson fight. When Tupac was in the MGM lobby and they seen Orlando Anderson, they seen that whole crew, they stomped him out. Tupac felt like Mike Tyson at that moment. And so this is what made them be like, wait, Tupac, he not a gangbanger. He's always riding with Suge, and we know Suge's guys are really the ones who have the crew. But at the end of the day, we can't let somebody that's not even part of the clique, and they got a rivalry between Suge and the other group that was in the car. And so when they heard that Tupac was the one that jumped the dude and stomped him out right there in front of MGM, like the whole entire tourist saw everything. So people was going back to their respective states and countries like, yeah, we just seen this dude get stomped out by Tupac. So he didn't want to live with that. Orlando didn't want to live with being the guy that got stomped out by Tupac and not doing anything about it. He couldn't have that street cred. He couldn't have that reputation because that would bring him down. People will start trying him now, thinking it's sweet. So when he went and told his uncle, hey, Tupac was the one that actually stopped me out, Keffy D's his uncle, so Keffy D's thinking like, wait, Tupac did that to you? Oh, and he got $1 million on his head? Let's go, let's ride. This is when they jumped into the Cadillac, man. And the whole chase started happening from the MGM down to Koval Lane. Suge was driving, but he didn't know people was following him like that. They had all the Mob James, they had everybody behind them. They had a whole caravan of dudes behind the actual Tupac car. They were not alone. So why didn't the dudes that was following like jump out and actually like spray the whole thing out? They didn't have switches back. They didn't have none of that stuff back there. So people were moving like slow. Like this whole thing was basically a crazy, crazy scene. And when they seen them girls that seen Tupac, a lot of people was thinking, man, how did them girls just give away Tupac like that, man? This is why they should have been riding with the window up. Tupac should have never been sticking his arms out the window or his head out the whatever it is. They try to make it seem like Tupac was lacking, like he was in a parade. That's what Keith D tried to say. So I know a lot of that stuff is actually sneak dissing. A lot of that stuff that they've been saying about Tupac in these interviews, they've been sneak dissing, man. They try to say when they seen Tupac get hit, he was breakdancing. Like, come on, man, y'all sneak dissing. I could see that from a mile away. They really trying to throw a lot of shade on Tupac. So this is why the karma's gonna hit them hard. This is why the feds are actually gonna get this whole thing solved, is because they keep bragging about hitting up Tupac. They keep like throwing shade. They keep throwing in these little disses and showing that they have no respect for Tupac at all. They not respecting, they still dissing the dead. This is what Gucci Mane told a lot of people not to do. And so this is the reason why this whole thing got brought back around, because they started going to all of these places speaking on the business of an open case. You can't do that. If somebody robbed a bank and they went on Vlad and talk about, yeah, I robbed this bank 30 years ago, they gonna come and get you for that. What do these people think, man? Whatever amount of money that Vlad could have or could not have offered, that's not worth actually going on there and speaking on an open case that you yourself are involved in. It's different when you just talking about the news from somewhere in a whole different location and you got nothing to do with it at all. And so, but then when you was actually a suspect, they almost indicted you, they brought you in so many times. The only reason that they didn't actually get you was because all the other witnesses is gone. They all deceased. This is a 30-year-old case. But on the 27th year of actually almost getting away with it, the dude spills the beans and tells it to 30 million people on the internet. And out of the 30 million people, the Fed saw it. Out of all them 30 million views from Keefe D doing the interviews and everything like that, It only took one Fed to catch on to that, and that's why they're in the situation that they're in right now. Because this whole thing goes back to why they should have never messed with Tupac. They should have left Tupac alone a long time ago. They would have never ended up having to deal with losing their freedom and everything. As a matter of fact, a lot of these dudes is lucky that they never got caught earlier for the Tupac. They had 30 years to be on the run. 27 years of doing whatever they wanted, knowing in the back of their head that they was wrong for that. They was wrong for what they did to Tupac. And they couldn't sleep at night with that on their mind, I'm sure. And so now, all them nightmares of them getting caught up, it finally happened, man, because you know they was thinking about that one day where that one little piece of information they thought that they shouldn't have got out, it got out, and it did go to the people that you didn't want it to go to, and it's all your fault because the guy came on to the interview with in front of a camera, lights, camera, action. Vlad, he did not. I guess he didn't do his research on what happens when you go on Vlad with an open case and you speak on it. Sooner or later, the investigators are going to be knocking at your door with a microphone talking about, we need them statements that you said. As a matter of fact, they already got him. And so this is why they try to use the Vlad interviews. They let it go on. Vlad posted the first Keefe D interview 5 years ago. That's when the fans first seen it. They could have really went and got him then, but they waited. They like, wait, if he's gonna go on Vlad, let's wait until he goes on another one and another one and another one. And he kept giving more and more info. He gave him info about the weapon, the strap that he handed off. He said some things that the fans was actually trying to figure out. They're like, oh, he never told us this. He only told us like the bare minimum for us not to look into it more. But he said he passed it to the dude and that Diddy had $1 million. Like, this is some breaking info that they had to go and get him. He basically was asking for them to come and get him again. And this is something that you cannot be doing, man. So we know that this slip up is the ghost of Tupac. Tupac looking down. He's laughing right now. Tupac is laughing, rolling at the fact that these dudes was dumb enough to go on a public interview and it has the most, like the platform with the biggest thing. And he spoke on the open case that he himself was involved in, talking about he handed the strap to the dude that shot him. Man, that's a lesson, self-snitch.